been alright, man. You know, just trying to maintain and get back into the flow of life out here. You know, it's a totally different world, man. You know, being
out here since you've been in jail.
Yeah.
Where you been at?
I was up in Green County, SMCI. I was in there for 25 months. For I violated my probation. I went to jail on a domestic violence charge. In my probation, I was violating it, and they just tried to hide me. You know, it's just one thing, man. You know, I can't get over. You know how I just in the slip. You know, it says trouble is so easy to get into, but it's fighting to get out of it. You know what I'm saying? You gotta fight hard, man. You know, every day.
So basically, you slipped up and they sent you to jail.
Basically, yeah.
What you was on probation for?
I had a charge uttering forgery.
Okay.
You know, while I was doing them checks.
It's like cashing bad checks or something.
Yeah.
Basically non-violent though, right?
Yeah, it's non-violent.
Right. So where you end up at?
I ended up
In the chicken coop?
Yeah, the place. That's basically what it was. You know, it just had floors in it. It was a long metal building with 100 bunk beds in it. And if you looked at it from the outside, if you ever been on a farm, been in a chicken house, a chicken coop, anything, that's exactly what it would remind you of. You know, no installation, nothing. If it's 100 degrees outside, it's 110 degrees on the inside.
Now they got windows?
We got windows, but they don't do nothing. They no air circulating nowhere. If it's 32 degrees on the outside, it's 22 degrees on the inside, cause it's gone. That's the only thing you know is however it feel outside.
It's trapping and maximum out.
Yeah.
So in them 2.5 years, how many different jails you been to?
I only went to one. It was basically they told me that I didn't qualify to go to any other facility with that was minimum custody, you know.
And you didn't qualify based on what?
It was their rules, you know. I qualified as far as what the credentials said, but I guess other people qualified and I had to wait in line.
So you're talking about the point system?
Yeah.
Explain to us how the point system works.
Point system, but anybody from 0 to 5 points, they are minimum custody or A custody, which means they have more freedom because of the nature of their crime. It's petty felony. Then anywhere between 6 and 10 points, that's minimum custody or B custody, which means that you could still work, but you would have to be inside prison grounds. You have lesser privileges. And anywhere from 11 points on up, that's C custody, which is mandatory lockdown. It's violent, either murder or aggravated assault or anything that had anything to do with violent nature.
So what number was you ranking?
I was out from jump. I was qualified as A custody, but they put me in B custody. I had 4 points, which is qualification for A custody, but they gave me B custody. And then after a year, I dropped down to 1 point, which made me even more qualified for A custody, but they still kept me at B custody. So
because of prison overcrowding.
Yeah, overcrowding of the system, you know. But the overcrowding of the system is it's overcrowded because they want it to be their way. They started bringing people in, but they ain't letting nobody go. That's why it's overcrowded, you know. In 1 week, I saw 3 people go home. But then when it's time for the bus to run and bring some new inmates in, they bring in 30.
Private prisons are raking in huge profits despite the bad economy. But the largest private prison company in this country isn't just going to sit back and let the markets do its thing. Like any smart business, the Corrections Corporation of America is actively courting investors. Keeping people locked up doesn't come cheap. So at a time when states are struggling with their budget shortfalls, the CCA is urging them to privatize. In January, the Wall Street giant sent a letter to 48 states with a sales pitch that went something like this. We're going to buy your prison now, and if you keep it mostly full, we'll make sure that we're going to take care of it. So make sure that the prison population doesn't dip below 90%, and the CCA will take care of all of your incarceration needs.
On an average week?
That's an average week, you know. You just gonna always be like that. They gonna always bring in more people than they let go.
And this was a state penitentiary?
Yeah, it's a state penitentiary, you know. They have different facilities, you know. They have satellites, that's for the 8 custody, minimum custody. They have all the freedom, you know, where their family can bring them stuff. They don't have to buy anything from the prison system. Their family can come and bring them stuff, you know. And then they have state facilities that's for beat custody, and it's more restricted because you have to buy everything that you want to acquire from the prison system, and you only get a visit twice a month, and it's only for a couple of hours, you know, and basically you just out in the middle of nowhere.
So do they give you anything?
Like,
what the things that they give you to survive?
They give you 2 bars of lye soap. They give you toothpaste. They give you a razor once a month, and basically that's
Here's the way a private prison works, okay? You pay somebody to build a fancy cage. Then you fill it up as far as you can get it, which is pretty full. Full of people that, the people that built the cage get paid $40,000 or $50,000 a year to just keep in the cage.
Yeah, everything is more expensive in prison. You know, you paying damn near $1 for a ramen noodle, you know, a bar or just a regular, a no-name soap that you buy off canteen, but it smells better than the soap that they give you. They charge you $2.50 for that. A stick of deodorant with about this much in it, they charge you $2.50 for that, you know. And it's like, if you ain't got nobody to care for you, it's like the end of the world to you, you know, because ain't nobody it's a dog-eat-dog world, and then whatever you get, that's what you get. If you ain't got nothing, then you can't get nothing.
Now, if you've got 5,000 people in your cage and you're being paid $30,000-$40,000 a year for them, that's a lot of money. And if you can, on top of that, use them as your private property, as chattel property, that you can then make do work or produce things that you get paid for on top of that, what a great deal. Now, where I come from, when you transform a person into a piece of property, that's called slavery.
You know, and then it's also, well, if I make canteen, but this guy right here, he ain't just got it like that. If I try to sell him something, they gonna give me a charge for extortion, and they gonna try to take away my privileges.
So if you try to sell anything to try to gain money off for any type of profit, then you commit extortion. I'm committing extortion. And then you get your privileges revoked off. Yeah. It could possibly lead to more jail time. Yeah, basically. And but the crazy thing about it is I'm just trying to maintain, but they doing the same thing, and it's just considered as the way it's supposed to be. This is reality. But if I try to do it, it's a crime.
They trade their stock on Wall Street based upon the number of people that are in jail.
Their bottom line is to make as much money as possible.
With combined revenues of $2.9 billion last year.
Prisons make money off of incarceration. The more people they lock up and the longer they keep them, the more money they make. So
one inmate said, "They always beat us and hit us," the prisoner told a local reporter. "We just pay them back. We're trying to get better food, medical care, programs, clothes, and we're trying to get some respect from the officers and lieutenants."
Look, if you give people an incentive to spend as little money as they can on prisoners, believe me, they will spend as little money as they possibly can on prisoners.
A lot of these inmates needed medical care, they needed medical attention, and they weren't receiving it.
The largest private prison company in this country isn't just going to sit back and let the markets do its thing. I mean, could there be a conflict of interest where, for example, more folks will end up going to prison essentially in order to stay true to these deals?